Alright guys, welcome to Spoiler Alert. Today we are talking, of course, about The Bad Batch. Today's episode was pretty decent, actually. It gave us a lot of information on the characters and what's going on. Not a whole lot different than what I expected, because I expected this to basically be an earlier version of kind of Mandalorian, because that's kind of what it's becoming. There is more training with Omega, and Wrecker is training her how to defuse a bomb, which I hope that gets called back into in either the next episode or one of the next episodes. We are in, we still have quite a few. There's 13 episodes, I believe, in this series, and we're just touching halfway. So I hope that they kind of pace this up a little bit more. You know, the first few episodes were character building, that's fine. Grounding some narrative, again, that's good. Story building, character building, that's great. Now let's amp that up, especially seeing what happens in this episode. I want to see a lot more action, a lot more run through. There was a lot of action in this one, actually. I hope that they don't just slow it down in the next episode, like hit the brakes, because they kind of do that a bit, where they'll have like one really cool episode where they're doing stuff, and then boom, just like, hey, let's go on vacation and take a break and train or something. I believe that those are okay, but they're kind of like Pokemon Beach Days, or these old animes where it's like, there's a main bad guy, and if we don't stop him, the world will end. Let's go to the beach for a day, because we need a vacation. But you just said that this bad guy's going to kill people if you don't stop him. Why aren't you just going to go stop him and then take the vacation? So, you know what I mean. So let's jump into kind of the narrative plot of this. Is Omega is with Wrecker. Again, you know, she learned how to defuse a bomb. Well, she didn't learn how to defuse a bomb. She learned how to set off a bomb when she was supposed to be defusing it. So I guess that may not come back into call in the next episode, unless she gets like super mega smart, or mega smart. She might, we might get a call back into that at some point in the next episode or two. Never know. But in this one, I believe his name is Deadshot, comes back to hunt the Bad Batch and basically just kill them off. So that's majority of this whole story, is them basically just running around and shooting, which is great, because that's what I've been asking for. It's just less like story building stuff. Give me some action now. We know why he's doing it. He's programmed to do it. He's a loyalist to the Empire. We get that. Like, that's, you know, already established. We don't need to know that. So we're running through this story. There are some junkers that are hanging around that aren't really like a huge part of the storyline, but they still add narrative depth to it. And I believe, you know, they're there to get the Bad Batch, not Omega. Omega is just kind of a side thing. He even threatens to kill her to get to them at one point, and then we get this mystery character who turns out to be a bounty hunter that we've seen before. Do I not like that we've seen him before? Not necessarily. We know him from Clone Wars, I believe. We've definitely seen this character from Clone Wars before. We may have even seen him in the what is it called? It'll come back to me. In Rebels. We might have even seen this character in Rebels. Probably in Rebels 2. He is your cowboy, alien, gunfighter, bounty hunter. He's a good character. I like this character. It's just out of every bounty hunter that ever lived, we get the 2 that we know. Yeah, that's kind of... I mean, you have an entire galaxy of bounty hunters, and you pick the 2 that we know. Not someone new. I would have liked it, personally I would have liked it to be someone that was new, just to give us some depth if they were working with this person or that person. It would have helped out a little bit because, hey, guess what? Merchandising. You can sell toys. New bounty hunter. Very cool. I mean, heck, throwing in, I guess what they're going to do next is they're going to throw in the Mandalorian. I don't know. It's very Mandalorian-ish. It's very callbacky, which is fine. Fan service, I get it. But this is like a new storyline. I would like to see new characters, but then I guess people would complain like, why didn't we see these guys in these future stories? Kill them off. I don't care. Like that's why they weren't in the Clone Wars or in the that's why they weren't in Rebels, you know, because they got killed. So the only storyline that really this would really affect is either the movies or talking about Disney being Disney Plus, the only thing that this would really affect is The Mandalorian and Rebels, because they're already technically in canon within the confines of Disney canon. So those would be the only ones that this would actually affect. And as long as you kill them off by the end of the series, oh yeah, they're dead. Not a big deal. That's why they're not in these ones. So that would make sense. But since these characters seem to pop up, I guess they want to flesh out the characters so that when they do pop up again in maybe the Book of Fett, or another version of some other cartoon that's coming down the line, that they will have a grounded character built up for themselves. They weren't just some rando bounty hunter, that they actually had connections to the rebels in some way. Which is fine. So the idea here is that he pops up and kidnaps Omega, and that's pretty much the end of the story. Hunter, I believe, gets knocked out by the other clone who's following orders, and he doesn't get killed, he just gets knocked out, and then Wrecker and the other boys take him onto the ship and they fly away, and that's basically the end of the story. They tell him, oh, Omega got taken. Well, someone tells them that Omega got taken, and then that's how we figure out what's happening. And so now we're doing Mandalorian Part 2, I'm going to find you. I'm going to kill you. Is probably the next section of episode. Probably the next few episodes. I hope that they don't drag this out for the entire next half of the season, because that will be really bad. But we'll see what happens. This episode, was it great? Not as good as the first one. I kind of liked the first one. It was good building, and then it just kind of put the brakes on. Is it a bad series? No, especially if you're a kid. I know that this is made for kids, not for adults. But, you know, the storylines are kind of repetitive and basic, and they do run off of this is like Mandalorian light. It's Diet Mandalorian, which is fine, because it's made for kids, and it should be like that. So, is it a good series? Yes. So far, I'll continue watching it just because, hey, video quality. So, yeah, that's pretty much my review of it. It's been interesting, to say the least. If you guys don't mind, go ahead and hit the like button down there, ding, if you like this movie. This review. If you don't like this review, go ahead and hit the down button. Go ahead and punch the subscribe button if you'd like to subscribe and see more videos. There's also a video tab down there somewhere where you can watch more videos. And thank you guys for subscribing, all of you who have, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.